trying to say? What you trying to say?
I'm looking right at you.
I
ain't backing down. You better take your ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, whoa.
Now I'm looking right at you. Let me tell you what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You're trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, I need you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah,
because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's gonna say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's gonna get your energy back up. I'm talking right to you. Shit. So he was doing, I was gonna be scared. Yes, I'm talking. And I know old gal should be good to you. These young gals will bite you.
I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not going to act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
Where y'all at? Hey, chat, where they at?
Hold on. Because, you know, I keep it on me now.
Yeah.
I keep it on me. You want to date your what?
I want to date my wage. Not my age. I want to date my wage. So where are they? So y'all always talking about date your age. I want to date my wage. So come on with it.
Shannon Sharpe, NFL Hall of Famer, very successful podcaster, huge internet personality, is currently being sued by an OnlyFans model for $50 million claiming grape. Before we even get into a lot of these details, and there's a lot we got to cover today, guys, but let me just say one thing. This could have been easily avoided. I mean, it is so easy to avoid a situation like this. And I am not going to say Shannon has no fault in this situation, because at the end of the day, I don't know what that man does. You know, I don't know what he has done behind closed doors. Like, we do not know. However, I will say that this is 1,000% a shakedown. 1,000%. This is clearly a shakedown. And the woman that is suing Shannon Sharpe for $50 million, the Jane Doe that is in question, her name is Gabriella Zaninga. My apologies if I mispronounced that, but yeah, Gabriella. If you guys were curious about what she looked like, this is Gabriella. So this is the girl that is currently suing Shannon Sharpe. And yes, she is an OnlyFans model. And there is one thing that I wanted to note. So Gabriella has hired Tony Busby as her lawyer. If you guys do not know who Tony Busby is, he is the lawyer that was hired by the woman that claimed that Jay-Z and Diddy graped her, essentially, when Jay-Z wasn't even in the vicinity at the time. And we have found out later on that that claim that was made by that woman has been proven to be not true. The woman's own father was like, I don't remember this happening, because apparently she made a claim that the father picked her up like at some gas station or something like that, and she was hysterical, she was crying, blah blah blah. Even the dad was like, I don't remember this happening. So yes, that entire situation was proven to be completely false. And Tony Busby was her lawyer, and he was claiming everything that she said to be true. So just keep that in mind. All right, that lets you know the type of person that he is and the type of people that he represents. Okay, just keep that in mind. Before I give my 2 cents, I am going to present you guys with the facts, with what happened, and then I am going to put in my 2 cents, because there are a lot of things that I have to say or that I want to say about this situation. All right, so lawsuit comes out, boom, 50 million, right? Shannon heads to social media and he records this video.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself, because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million, What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
This was the first video that I saw. So I saw this video of him basically saying, okay, yeah, this is a shakedown, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Then I see this.
Well, what, Gabby?
Well, you're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do what you did to me.
Okay, well...
Well, what?
Anything I say, you're just gonna, like, get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What? What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a to me now, so...
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Okay. All right. Oh boy. So, here's the thing, right? I heard this clip, and this was when I had little to no context, right? I didn't really know much about what was going on currently. I instantly knew something felt off about this conversation, especially when she was like, stop manipulating me. I was like, what did he say? Because he said it is what it is. I'm not gonna lie, my eyebrows raised a little bit because the conversation was obviously like cut. And when people cut conversations like this, a lot of the times they do that in order to fit their narrative, if that makes any sense. And when I hear conversations like this, I mean, yes, obviously, this could be like legitimate threats by Shannon, but also this could be a relationship dynamic between the two. There are a lot of relationships out here that have a very specific dynamic that may not seem normal to us from the outside looking in. This may be very normal to them, but not normal to us. But since it is not normal to us, this could sound crazy. It could sound like Shannon is an aggressor and an abuser and just an all-around bad person, right? But we do not know if this is their normal. I shit you not. And this was one of the first things that I said when I listened to this audio, and I was like, something just feels off. It's even the way that he said, yeah, I'm sorry, it kind of made me laugh, but he was like, yeah, big black man chokes out a little white girl. Like, it sounded, when he said that, immediately I said, oh, so this must be a kink thing that the two of them do. This must be the dynamic within their relationship or whatever the hell it was, right? That was immediately what I said, because I don't think Shannon would just say that just to say that. I could be wrong, obviously, but let me show you guys something else. So these are text messages that were put out by Shannon Sharpe's legal team, and I'm gonna read these for you. And it's weird, all right? I'm not gonna lie, it gets a little weird. Not judging, but it's, yeah, you understand what I'm trying to say. She says here, I want to be abused, Zaddy. I'm not gonna do the voice, I'm sorry. She says, I want like some hardcore BDSM action though. So she says, I want to be abused, and she says she wants some hardcore BDSM action. She also says, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me. So when I saw these messages, I was like, oh, this is making a lot of sense now. And also, it's not making her story of grape very credible, in my opinion. Obviously, I could be wrong, but it seems like, and you guys are probably going to agree with me, that this was their kink. Like, they like BDSM, very aggressive intercourse, choking, all of that, which lines up with what Shannon said when he said, I'm gonna choke you. He was probably still partaking in this BDSM aspect of their relationship. That's probably why he said it. That's really not far-fetched to think, because that conversation just felt off to me. So now that makes a lot of sense. However, there is another part of these conversations that were a little bit disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised. She says in some of these text messages, but I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my butt, and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon. Look, I have nothing to say about that. That is true. If somebody tells you not to do something, even while you're having like consensual intercourse, just don't do it, bro. Like, please don't do it. That much I will most definitely agree with. And then she says, I don't know how to process this. Can I call you later? Now, if that is the case, I will say that is most definitely not okay. It is not okay. However, that doesn't really change my mind when I say this is most definitely a shakedown. Also, one thing that I didn't even think about until now, why were you, it seems like she was recording these conversations with the purpose of getting something out of Shannon, i.e. money. And that also isn't too far-fetched, because there is also this text message that says, I know you miss this big juicy butt. 25K for each cheek. Can somebody tell me what the does that mean? 25K for each cheek. What do you mean by that? Does he have to pay $25,000 to grab each cheek, to bite each cheek? Was he gonna pay for a BBL? What does 25K for each cheek mean? I don't get that. Somebody please explain that to me in the comments down below. 25K for, like, I'm trying to really understand in my head, but it's not making any sense to me, guys. Please help me out here. Anyway, when it comes to money, this next text message also further proves my point. He receives a text from her that says, what's taking so long? You either don't have the cash to show me right now, or you're with blank. Which one is it, Shannon? So yes, this person is all about money. As you can see, this most definitely seems like a shakedown. It appears to be a shakedown. I know some people in the comments are going to disagree with me, but I'm sorry, you're going to have a hard time changing my mind about this one. She's an OnlyFans model. She's constantly talking about money. She's asking for 25K for each cheek. I still do not understand what the hell that means. She's recording conversations. The conversation that she did record is spliced so it could fit her narrative. I'm sorry. Yes, this most definitely seems like a shakedown. However, I will say, if there was any wrongdoing on Shannon's part that he did that I do not know about, he should be held accountable to the highest extent. None of us can disagree there. I just don't know. Okay, that's the gist of what's going on pretty much. Now let me give you my 2 cents. All right. First of all, Shannon, my guy, what the fuck are you doing with 19-year-olds while you're 50? Now, I say that to say I'm not going to call you a PDF file or anything like that. I'm not going to say that, because yes, it is indeed legal. It is completely legal for you to have consensual intercourse with someone of age, and she was 19, so at the time she was of age. But dog, not only is she 19, she's also an OnlyFans model, which means she's more than likely money hungry. And she's over here texting you talking about some 25K for each cheek. What the hell does that mean? And she's saying, oh, do you have the money right now or not, Shannon? So she obviously just wants you for your money. Bro, you are fucking Shannon Sharpe. Shannon, you do not have to pay for box, bro. You don't. And if you are going to, don't get me wrong, if you are going to pay for intercourse, do it the right way. Find the proper escorts that will not out you like this. Find the proper escorts that will keep everything on the DL, on the hush hush. Do not mess with random 19-year-olds on OnlyFans, bro. This is just crazy to me, because me being 30, turning 31 next month, I cannot fathom being involved with a 19-year-old. Have you guys, everybody that's in their 30s, have you actually tried to sit down and have a legitimate conversation with a 19-year-old? I can't do it. I cannot do it. I don't care what you look like. I do not care. It is so frustrating. And you know why? It's only because they didn't live enough life yet, bro. What is wrong with dating a 40-year-old? Hell, what is wrong with you dating women in their 30s? You know how many bad women are out here in their 30s? But you pick the 19-year-old. Honestly, I don't care what you're into sexually. That is your business. But no way in hell am I going to partake in some BDSM activity with a 19-year-old, because I know that the script can flip on me at any time. It can be perceived that I am manipulating this woman at any time because I am so much older than her. So why would I even risk it? Also, I'm gonna say this again. You are Shannon Sharpe. You do not have to pay for women to be with you. And I just find it so funny that he said, why do I have to be with a 50-year-old? Why do I have to be with a 40-year-old? Because of shit like this. And I'm gonna be honest, those clips of Shannon talking about preferring to date younger women, they are aging like spoiled milk, because he would constantly say, well, why is it so frowned upon that I date somebody that's younger? Why do I have to date someone in their 50s or 40s? Why can't I date a young woman? Shannon, let me say this, bro. Just because you have access to something, it doesn't mean that you should indulge in it. Let me say that one more time. Just because you have access to something, that does not mean that you should indulge in it, stupid. Guys, I went to a PWI. If you guys do not know what a PWI is, that is a predominantly white institution. I went to a white college. I went to a lot of white frat parties, not because I wanted to, but because the group that I was hanging with at the time, they wanted to go to a couple of them because there were no moves in the city at that time. And let me tell you something. The amount of cocaine that I would see at these parties was astonishing. Like, it just lines on the table. Not only would they snort these lines right in front of me, but they would offer it to me all the time. Like, dude, you want a bump? Fuck no, I don't want a bump. Cocaine doesn't even look fun. It doesn't even look remotely fun to do. No, I do not want a bump. I do not want to do cocaine, but I could have, because I had access to it. Just because you have access to something, that doesn't mean that you should indulge. All right, just because you have access to these young women, that doesn't mean that you should screw a bunch of young women because of shit like this. And Shannon, I hope this is teaching you a very valuable lesson, and I cannot wait for him to talk about this situation when all of this dies down. And also, one thing for you to note, which is very interesting, he is attempting to settle at $10 million. So he wants to give her $10 million to just settle this entire thing and make it go away, which I find interesting, because that means you are basically like inadvertently like admitting to some sort of wrongdoing. Like, this is you basically this is you showing guilt, in my opinion. And this may have something to do with him sticking it in her butt when she told him no. That is quite possible. It has also come to light that he is temporarily stepping away from ESPN. So not only did you lose a bag from ESPN, but you are now trying to settle with $10 million. You are losing money for messing with a 19-year-old. Shannon, I hope you have learned a very valuable lesson. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree with anything that I said? Do you disagree? Please do me a favor, let me know in the comments down below. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe, guys. I really do appreciate you. I hope you guys pull up to the live tomorrow. It's going to be a fun one. Make sure you join the Discord. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.